In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to set up Abyss web server with PHP support on your PC. First, go to your internet browser. You can search Google for Abyss web server, or use the link to the right of this video to go directly to the page of Abyss. Once you're at the Abyss homepage, click on the Downloads button. From here, click Free Download, and then select your operating system. The setup is pretty much universal for all operating systems, and you can probably follow these instructions on your Mac if you have a Mac. So once your download starts, while you wait, you probably want to get the PHP package. This is also on the downloads page. Click the PHP 5.2.8 package for Windows or Mac. While these files download, we want to get our IP address so we can use it to access the server later. Type cmd to open the command prompt, and then type ipconfig. A lot of information will come up. All you need to know right now is your IPv4 address, which is shown here. Write this number down or just save the window for later use. Now Abyss web server is done installing, so we're going to just select all the defaults or change them if you wish. Now this is personal preference. I don't like my server to start up manually because I use it just as a testing server. If you're planning to use this as a primary server, you probably want to install it as a Windows service. So once it's done, it'll ask to start. Just click yes. Once it starts, it'll create a configuration file. Then click OK to edit all of your settings for your server. Select your language, enter a username and password, and then enter that username and password again to log on. Be sure to write this information down because there's no way to recover it. So this is your server control panel home. You can do things like server configuration, SSL certificates, and console configuration, and much more, including help and support. These are your currently running Abyss web servers. As you can see, this one is running on port 8000, which is fine unless you want a default web server to be accessed directly by going to your IP address. So we're going to click Configure to edit this server. First, we'll go into General, where we can select the protocol, the port it uses, and the location. We're going to leave the port the same right now. Just note that if you turn it to port 80, you won't have to do port routing with your IP address later on, which I'll explain more when we get to that point. So I'm going to change my directory to my default website area, which is located in this folder. So once you find the folder you want to click the select link, and it'll automatically select that for you. So click OK when you're done, and you'll probably be asked to restart, which doesn't take very long at all. So we're going to go back into configuration and set up PHP. We're going to go to first we have to install the PHP package, which is still downloading. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead for your enjoyment. So now the download's almost finished. I'm going to take this time to clear up my downloads list. There are many other things you can do through here, such as index files, directory listing, aliases, users and groups, XSSI parameters, custom error pages, and much more, which you can explore on your own. So the download is done. Now we're going to install it. Now normally you wouldn't install PHP, but this is an already configured package provided by Abyss web server for you for easy install. So install it, accept all the defaults again, or change it if you wish, but just know that you'll have to configure your server differently if you change it. So now it's installed, so we're going to go to the scripting parameters section, and we're going to add an interpreter. We're going to change the interface to fast CGI local pipes. Then we're going to find the interpreter. It should be stored in program files. PHP 5. And then find php-cgi.exe. No arguments are needed. Type can be saved as standard. And then we'll add an associated extension which will tell Abyss Web Server to use the interpreter when you go to a certain page. In this case, we're going to use PHP. No dot is needed. So we'll click OK, and click OK one more time. Now the last thing we want to do is add an index file. This will make it so if your page is called index.php, it will automatically redirect you to it if you don't type that in. So we'll just add index.php, and you may want to add home.php depending on your development style. So once we're done with that, we'll click restart. Okay, so the server is rebooted. Now this is where the IP address comes in. We'll type this into our address bar. And then if you haven't set your default port to 80, you'll have to put a colon and then the port you're using. In this case, our port is 8000. If you don't have a direct root file, a root directory thing like this will come up. For this case, I'll go to the DunSoft website, and it automatically brings up index.php, which is now running PHP, as you can see. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope it's helped out. If you have any questions, you can send an email to jdunlap@dunsoft.org.